Hello, welcome to another episode of Spilling the IT. I'm Paul Burke. That's Adam Burke. We're working at an amazing company called Quest Technology Management, and we're here to talk about what's happening in IT, the news, what's happening today specifically.
Spilling the IT.
Hmm.
Embrace the title, Paul. Embrace the title. We are spilling the IT, as the friends in the South say, spilling the tea. When you're talking trash, talking scuttlebutt, talking the local news. That's what we're doing here, Paul.
The main place for scuttlebutt on the internet. You here for scuttlebutt? You found the right place. We're spilling the IT.
It's a
Did I
fun,
sell it?
exciting industry, There's a lot going on. There's a lot changing all the time. I was at an event last week. People are making up words, not to make fun of our friends over at Avant at all, but the dudes took two words
Wow,
and
you're coming out.
mashed them together. They took
You are coming out strong, Adam. Right out of the gate. You're like, I have been holding
they
on to
took
this for a week.
I put it on LinkedIn. I loved it, but they came out, they made up a word. They took out evolution
Hmm.
and velocity
Hmm.
and they smashed it together and called it evelocity. Like and it was great because I get it, you're evolving and you're evolving quickly. So velocity, I
Hmm.
mean, I'm not quite sure get through a physics class or a biology class with evolution and
Evolocity.
velocity. Evolocity. They made up the word. I think it's fantastic. Anyways, we had a great, I used that as a quick, we had a great time at the event last week. Saw tons of cool partners and everybody out there. I got to see people in person in Austin. But yeah, they're making up words now. And we're spilling the IT. They're making up words, having a good time.
So
Having a good time.
evolocity is the speed of evolution. It's speeding up. That's the idea. Is that what evolocity is? Like,
Well,
guys, we are in a
yeah,
state of evolocity.
yeah, you nailed that pitch. They just nailed that one. Um, no, it's basically the idea that um, things are changing really, really fast in the technology space, and the things are evolving very quickly. So the velocity is increasing. So think like derivative, kind of like an expansion quickly of
Hmm.
up and to the right, the hockey stick kind of thing. Everyone's
Hmm.
kind of seen the hockey stick before the giant crash, but no one ever. Don't worry about that part. Just the hockey stick. Everything going great.
Wow, man, we're getting your insights into and all sorts of stuff right now. So yeah, so that's true. If they came out and were like, "Hey, it's things are going fast. It's going so fast," that
Not
wouldn't
that's not
work.
as good. That's not as good of a pitch. It's not as good of a pitch. You take words, you put them together, you make something great. That's how language evolves. That's how things happen. And
Hey,
yeah,
hey guys, remember when it was slower? It's not anymore. It's faster.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So cool event. Got to be in person. Got to see people. Got to see partners. Got to see other folks in the technology space, other service providers. And it was cool. It was a good event last week, so it was cool to get out there. So
That's awesome. That sounds like a
yeah,
fun event. Nice.
yeah, it was good. About a couple thousand people in Austin, Texas. So cool town. Good barbecue. Went to a barbecue fusion sushi place. I don't know about that one. That was interesting. Not quite sure I'd do that again. I don't think you mix those two things together, but you
Well,
know,
Adam, we're in a state of velocity. I don't know if you've heard, and people are trying things to stay ahead of the curve.
ex-
it's a brave new
exactly.
world in food evolution, Adam, and you have
Yep.
to embrace that velocity, or you're going to be a laggard.
Luddite. Luddite.
Luddite.
There you
You're
go.
going to lag.
There you go.
There you
Yep.
go. I went to Vid Summit last week, which was a fantastic conference as well. We both lived at conferences last week, and I got to
Nice.
meet and learn about a lot of YouTube stuff, and it was great. Loved it. Super good. Super
Sweet.
good conference.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
But smooth transition to subscriptions. So today we want to talk about subscriptions, and let's be honest, Adam,
Yeah.
we want to talk about Questflex because a lot of people have no idea what it is.
Yep.
I think sometimes the name, people are like, What is that? Is that just Quest flexing on all the things it can do?" It's not. It's a service we offer. So
Yeah, it's kind of core to our how we people always ask like what's different about your organization, what makes you guys different than your competitors, different than your partners, all that kind of thing. And Questflex is how we go to market, candidly. It's how we put together our service offerings and give clients the ability to consume technology how it applies to their business, as
Hmm.
opposed to trying to fit a widget or a pre-canned idea about what we think is relevant to their business, um, into it. So we've been around a long time. Company's been around a long time. Um, People have been buying hardware and software for a long time and managing it themselves. So the traditional way, 20, 10, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, when mom and dad started the company out of the garage,
Hmm.
people were buying hardware. People are still buying hardware today. People are still subscribing to software today, and we still help organizations find the appropriate hardware and software solutions that they want to then go ahead and carry forward and manage themselves. So if you think about it in a simple kind of graphical depiction of it. The customer owns the equipment and the customer buys the equipment and they manage it going forward.
Hmm.
So that's one version of Questflex. It's not necessarily unique. There's tons of people out there who can sell hardware and software, but we've been doing it for a long time, and that's one way our long-term customers and new folks like to work with us. That's kind of one building block for Questflex. And as you kind of move to the right, if you will, there are different ways that we engage. So we talk about on here all the time, managed services. Traditional MSP services, where it comes from, is the idea of clients have invested in software applications and hardware applications in all sorts of different single point solutions. Could be a firewall, could be a switch, could be a subscription to Microsoft Azure, AWS, whoever. They have this stuff out there, but who's managing it and operating it? So the other kind of building block after you go from the customer buys it and owns it and manages it themselves, you have the customer who bought a bunch of stuff who maybe needs some help managing it, maintaining it, and operating it. So that's kind of a traditional MSP,
Hmm.
building block, if you will, where we can come in and for a defined monthly recurring charge, you enter into a 1, 2, 3, 5 year contract where we say, hey, we're going to take on these roles and responsibilities to manage these devices or support these end users. That's a traditional managed services option where you basically come in and help operate the environment that the client's already built. So,
You know what this is, Adam, and we should make a graphic to reflect this, is
hmm,
like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like customer hierarchy of needs. It starts with just products. And then
hmm,
if you have all those products and you're interested, you step it up a little bit, you talk to Quest and we're like, well, we can manage some of this stuff for you. So it's really just it's options.
it is. That's a, it is. It's where and one of the reasons I think that we're successful and that we've kind of had um, a long tenure in this space is because um, we have the ability to pivot to where the customer is actually looking for help. A lot of our
Hmm.
competitors and a lot of the reasons that we win opportunities when clients get into a conversation with us about what they're looking to do
Hmm.
is because we can meet them where they're looking to go. A lot
We
of our
don't.
competitors are trying to scale.
Yeah.
They're trying to, I need 10,000 of these opportunities. I need to do them with this slight variation, a left and right limit, and
Hmm.
I got to go. I got to build. I got to run.
Yeah, we're
We
not
don't
meeting.
necessarily have, yeah, we don't necessarily have that pressure within our organization. We say, hey, what are you trying to do?
Hmm.
And if it makes sense for us to put together something with you, we will.
Exactly. We listen to your needs, and then we build around that. So it's needs first, and then we work with you. And I think you're right. I think that's one of the reasons Quest is very successful.
Yeah, and it gives us the ability to kind of pivot. There's building blocks because everyone's like, you talk to partners all the time, like when we were back in Austin, like, well, you guys can't customize everything. And it's like, well, no, there's even people who put together complex custom, build to order, um, you know, you go to French Laundry with the California governor or something, And eh, no,
Huh?
okay.
Huh?
So
Huh? Hmm? Huh? Time link?
so
Eh?
even those complex like dishes out there, you have the building blocks that go into it, right? So we have the inputs that go into when we're putting together the meal, or when we're putting it together. You don't start every single item from scratch, right? So but we've been around long enough where we know, okay, you get a little bit of Microsoft licensing here, you need some storage, you need
Mm-hmm.
some replication technology, you need a little bit of, okay, you got people who are all over the country, you got to get some remote access, got to sprinkle a little bit of that on there. Okay, we got some security. Oh, crud, we got people working remotely. We got to layer in a couple building blocks around security and protecting those endpoints.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe layer in some teaching those folks a little bit of stuff too while they're working remote, making sure that they're aware of the threats out there. So do some end user training.
All right, Adam,
Tons of building blocks.
next
Tons of
level
building blocks.
challenge. How
Next
can you
level.
weave the San Francisco mayor into your next statement? Now, you know, you wove in a little French laundry. Now, how are you going
Yeah.
to weave in San Francisco mayor just partying and being so caught up? Listen, listen, everybody. We don't want to be the fun police, okay? We're just going to listen to
Nope.
you, see what you need, and then build around it. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. We don't
there you
want
go.
to. We don't want to. I'm not going there. I'm not going there at all. I think this goes out on YouTube. So if we say certain things more than once, not going to say that either.
We
All right.
we want to know, what do you need if you're at a Tony private concert? What do you need? And then we'll help you around that.
Exactly.
There you go.
Horrible dancing, by the way. That was just god awful.
Well, Adam,
Um,
everybody's not blessed with the moves that you have. I
that's true.
not a great dancer either, so I'm not gonna. I won't take shots at
Won't
that one.
comment on that one.
Won't comment on
Well,
that one.
so the other aspect of this, um, the other aspect of it. So as we continue moving to the right, um, we went from the clients purchasing hardware and software on their own.
Hmm.
Clients have already made investments and they maybe need some help managing it. As you keep moving, some organizations, they have the people to manage it, but they want the platform to be operational, right? So you think about this when you're talking about organizations that have like digital transformation initiatives, and they need to be focused on, looking up and out as
Hmm.
far as what's going to happen next in their environment. They can't necessarily be heads down, looking at the, patching their systems, maintaining the most current updates, and their basic care and feeding of the platform.
Hmm.
A big thing that we do all across the United States, we have about 26 delivery centers where we run platform as a service for clients. And this platform can be everything from virtual desktops to disaster recovery replication to infrastructure as a service to private cloud. These are platforms that basically are capabilities provided as a service. So rather than going out and buying $1 million worth of hardware and investing in professional services to turn that hardware up to a usable state,
Hmm.
and then layer in the software to make it available to your users or your customers. By the way, all of those things, if you want to do those, we do those and can help. But from a platform as a service standpoint, we buy and invest in that hardware. We implement it. We consume the data center services. We build all the capacity and we hand over to the customer when they're ready to consume it, a packaged platform as a service that they then subscribe to. So very, very powerful kind of capability here. It's something that, hey, I don't necessarily have the time to manage all of these, you know, beans and bullets, if you will.
Hmm.
I just need this tank ready to go. Like I'm not going to build the tank. Can you build the tank? And I need to go fight the battle.
Hmm. So I'm going to be totally honest with you. Did not even know we offered that. That is amazing.
What?
I didn't know we offered that. Sorry.
Come on, dude. Your last name's Burke. What are you
I
doing, bro?
I'm being honest. I didn't know. That's very impressive. So pretty much somebody can just show up in a room and say, "I got a computer, but I got to run a business, but I don't want to actually have any of I don't want to buy the software. I don't want to buy the hardware. We can literally hand them the platform and everything else that they need." I'm being honest. I didn't know that. That's impressive.
Well, that's where Questflex is really, really cool. So I had a customer about oh man, a while ago, about 8 years ago now, and they were um, they were a they're actually, some people would think of them as a competitor of ours, um, but they were building out their capabilities, and they wanted some help from a financial standpoint. They didn't want to make there was about $1.8 million worth of hardware that they had to buy,
Mhm.
right? They were going to spin up hosting services for a specific financial application. The owner was a CFO, good dude, down here in the Phoenix Valley with me. Great guy, but he didn't want to necessarily make that investment and take out a loan to buy that hardware. So what we did was we said, okay, well, hey, here's what we'll do. We'll 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 secure the data center. We'll secure the Cisco. I think it was Cisco, bunch of Cisco UCS blades, which
Mhm.
is blade servers. We bought all the hardware. We bought the VMware licensing. We're a VMware subscribe partner. We bought all the VMware licensing, and we built basically what the marketing folks out there would call a private cloud.
Hmm.
So we said, hey, rather than spending the $1.8 million that it's going to take to invest in this, we're going to buy all this stuff. We're going to put it in a data center. We're going to connect it up for you, and we're going to hand this platform over to you, and you're going to subscribe to it for the next 5 years. So we basically gave, because it wasn't a technology challenge. Sometimes people get so caught up in like the technology challenge. It's not always a technology challenge. Sometimes it's just a what are you trying to do challenge. Like what's your business trying to do? He knew what technology he needed. He
Mhm.
knew what platform and capacity he needed to build out for his company. He just didn't necessarily have the juice to walk into a bank and say, hey, I'm building a new company. Here's my personal guarantees and blah, 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 and take all the money. So we had built a lot of so for us, we had built a lot of our infrastructure as a service on Cisco UCS. So if this guy goes BK, not that we want him to, but if he
Mhm.
does and he can't pay us, we reclaim the hardware, we wipe it, and all of a sudden we have basically same infrastructure assets that we're going to be building out private clouds for anyway. So it wasn't a huge risk for us. We were able to take that and help him build his company, um, while at the same time we had a good business engagement there. So
And I
yeah,
think so. Not to sound, I don't know if this sounds preachy or what it sounds like, but how you just
preach,
mentioned,
brother,
well,
preach.
you just mentioned, what I think is really important. Like we want to help that person succeed. And I was actually talking to Tim about this as we watched the Niners getting destroyed
That
yesterday.
that sucked. I
That
lost $50 on that game. That
did
was
you?
that was horrible. Well, I got the new DraftKings thing here. You know,
Yeah.
DraftKings. I'm in Arizona,
Oh yeah, you
and
can
it's one of
gamble.
the states. It's one of the states you can gamble.
Hey, turns out here's
Yeah.
something funny side story. Not funny. I put $200 into DraftKings only to find out can't gamble in California. So I got $200 sitting in my DraftKings. Can't even use it. It's not a great life choice, Adam. Look at the fine
That's what you
print.
call not investigating. It didn't tell you. Oh, that's yeah. Well, you can drive up to Reno and just sit there on the border next to Cabela's and place some bets.
Yeah, I'll do that. 100%.
Yeah,
Just take a
that's
drive.
good.
Just take a
That's good.
drive so I can go lose some money. Just so it's not
Yeah,
sitting there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
So
Yeah,
sorry,
because
you lost 50
they do
bucks.
location. Well, cool tech. They do location tracking based on where you are,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to authorize DraftKings to or any gambling of those local at home applications.
Oh.
You have to let them tag your locations. And some of them will ask if you don't if you're as you're going into it. This is where we talk about security all the time. They'll ask to track your activity across other apps, and they'll ask to track your location,
Mm-hmm.
even while you're not using the app. So
It.
anytime you're loading a new application,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you check those settings because they're going to try to siphon off as much user data as they can. Because you go check out a company called like Foursquare or some other ones like that.
Yeah.
There's some interesting stuff about how they track what you do.
Interesting. Well, they actually put a piece of software on my computer. They said, "Hey, can we install this piece of software to just to make sure you're where you say you are?" And I said yes because I thought California. I mean, I see so many commercials. I'm like, well, California must gambling must be okay in California. Turns out it is not.
They got a couple smoky backroom conversations that need to happen before that gets sorted out with the unions. So just
Got it.
that'll get sorted out soon enough.
Well,
but it's
I
not there
got
yet.
I got an account just sitting out there with a couple $100. So you lost $50. I yeah, so I've not gambled. So Tim and I were talking. Sorry, back to this. Tim and I were
DraftKings
talking.
segue. It's okay.
That
We're
was
good.
quite the tangent. So Tim and I were talking, and I was saying I think it's so interesting. So many people say, "Oh, we're here to help," and I think a lot of people don't believe when we ask them like, "Hey, how can we help you?" They're like, "Well, that's a nice phrase. That's probably just trying to get me in the door." But then Quest, you're gonna try to like, you know, you're gonna try to you're not going to focus on the me so much, but more like your bottom line. And I just thought it was so interesting when I was talking to Tim. I was like, I think a lot of people don't trust when you say, "How can we help?" But sincerely, listen, that's how Quest is so successful. Is we focus on how we can help, and then go from there.
Well, yeah, about 95% of the market out there is pitching.
Yeah,
They're pitching something, right? I mean, I was at I was at the event last week, and one of the sessions was perfecting your pitch, right? I mean, it's like I, I know I drive partners insane with this sometimes because a lot of them will say like, well, what do you guys do? Come in here and tell our customer why you're the best at what you do. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
It really is genuinely, hey, what are you trying to achieve from a business objective standpoint?
hmm
And do we have the resources to help you get there? And if we don't, hey, not this one, maybe not ready on this one, but maybe on another opportunity, maybe on something else. Maybe there's, something else we can help you achieve. But if not, it's all good too. People change all the time. Needs
yeah.
kind of fluctuate all the time. It it, it happens.
I think that's interesting how to perfect your pitch because a pitch, if I'm making a pitch, that's all about me. That's not about the customer.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Well,
That's
the
interesting.
really funny thing is I'll get feedback sometime. Well, Adam, that's really, really arrogant. Like that is really, really arrogant that you're not going to come in here and throw up all over the customer and tell them why you're the best at everything. And it's like, well, no, I kind of find it more arrogant, and we're probably getting a little off script here, but that's
hmm
okay. We're just live; it's no big deal. Um, you know, I think it's arrogant to think that you can walk into a room not knowing anything about that organization and tell them what they need to do.
hmm
Really? You're going to walk in an organization, you have no context, no history, no relationship, and you are going to tell them what they need to do.
Yeah, and be super
And
confident
and
that we know how to
yeah,
fix everything even before we even know what you need to fix.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and then me walking in and being like, "Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, we've been doing this about 40 years. We got some great people, and what are you looking to do? How can we help you?" I'm the arrogant one.
Arrogance.
Like, it's like, really? Come on. Take a minute. Take a minute. Take a breath. Sit back. You know,
So,
um, you showing our global edge? You showing our global edge?
well, the delivery centers. You mentioned delivery center earlier, so I thought I'd be throwing that out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is where we some of our private instances where we're helping to deliver edge cloud services. So this is pretty cool. This is dedicated private cloud type services, which is more and more organizations are asking for help getting their compute locally. So we invested in this platform, and I'm pretty excited about it.
This is okay to show this, right?
Utilize, yeah,
Oh,
totally.
great.
Yep,
Okay.
yeah.
And then
But
this is yeah, and then
no, go ahead.
Questflex. I just wanted to bring this up because this I don't know. I didn't bring this up earlier. I thought maybe it'd be helpful to bring it up now.
Well, yeah. So this was kind of what I was trying to articulate. I was trying to throw out some verbal cues to you to hey, pull up the picture, Paul. Hey, pull
Oh,
up the picture.
Adam, listen, my
Yeah.
verbal cue, you got to just be more. You got to club me over the head and say, bring up that graphic, Paul.
Pull up the graphic. No, it was good. So that's when I was describing the on the left there. It's traditional. They purchase it, they operate it, and then as you move to the right, you got that ugly baby poop color green there. Sorry.
Adam, as Yeah, it's
as
one of the
marketing
markers. I'm
represent
offended.
as marketing representation there. I gotta. I don't, that green's just so bad. It's owned by the customer
Hmm.
and operated. We help operate it. And then as you keep moving, this was the one that, you were getting a little bit more aware of. Oh, you went forward one. There you go. This is the platform concept, right? Where we
Hmm.
own and deliver the platform as a service, um, and the customer operates it, right? So they get that business driver. And then the last one's really cool, is where this is what when we get into that capability conversation.
Hmm.
This is the idea of, it could be subscription to software. It could be bundling in a specific capability around virtual desktops or Quest, you're going to be responsible for running this portion of my recovery plan for business continuity. This is, we own the assets, we operate the assets, and we're responsible for delivering a certain capability under a service level agreement under a contract, which is a big deal in the IT world. This is saying, hey, we own the asset. We're gonna. It's you are basically saying, Quest, you got this piece of my business. You're going to operate this and manage this for me. That could be, help desk, support desk, service desk, people, or any type of business process. That's a big deal.
You know, Adam, like
So
any good speech, you always want to like reiterate your points. So I'm kind of glad I brought this graphic up. I mean, was it too late, Adam, or perfect timing that I brought this
it was
up?
perfect timing.
Give you a chance. Just give you a chance to
Perfect
say it again.
timing.
There you go.
Well done.
No
Perfect
mistakes.
timing.
There's no
No
mistakes.
mistakes. And the thing is with this, what's cool about it and what's really, really unique about it is customers transition with us and they move between these different building blocks all the time.
Hmm.
Some customers buy hardware from us. Some customers have buy hardware from us and then eventually have us manage it for them. Some of them, have us, provide the platform as a service, and eventually they want to acquire it, own it, or deliver it themselves. It's a anyone who thinks that they have IT figured out or has their pitch figured out or understands the way that their customers are always going to buy from here to eternity, you're dead. Well, I know Tim always doesn't say, hey, they're not wrong. It's just a different strategy. I'm a little bit more arrogant. I think they're wrong, but so we'll go along with him. It's a different strategy. It's just he's much nicer about it. But I do think that this is a huge, huge value add for our clients and for our partners.
Hmm.
Super excited about it. I was talking about it all last week, and want to continue talking about it, beating the drum around flexible delivery options and kind of meeting our clients where they're at.
I love it. I learned
Yeah,
something new today. Thanks, Adam.
right on, man. Right
Some
on.
might say I should already know this, but I learned it. There you go.
It's okay. You've only been around for your entire life. It's all
Yeah.
good.
So I know we're running out of time. Adam, real quick, what should people be watching or listening to? Anything great
Well,
happening?
I shot you a text last week, and you completely ghosted me on it, by the way.
Did I?
Um, Squid Game. Have you seen
Oh,
Squid Game?
no, I
Have
haven't
you
watched it
watched
yet.
Squid Game?
I haven't been in the
Dude,
mental. I haven't because I've heard it's
there is
very
no there is
intense.
there is no mental space for this thing. There is no
Okay.
mental space for this thing. This is
Okay.
some dark South Korean produced like craziness, but it's fantastic. It,
Yeah.
it takes you like takes you like an episode or two to get past the whole like poor like English dubbing over South Korean actors. So there's some goofiness there,
Well, you could
but
just read the subtitles.
yeah, I never actually turned that on.
Oh,
I had the English dubbed over Netflix. It automatically has English dub over it. So like you have the actors who are obviously speaking Korean.
yeah.
Um, then you have like the Korean actor like speaking English
Oh, yeah.
into the like trying to map it.
You can
So
adjust
it
it
gets a
because sometimes it drives me nuts. It's too it's too poorly dubbed. So sometimes reading the subtitles is actually really helpful.
it might be, but it's I always see like, oh, number one trending blah 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 Netflix. Like
Yeah.
I watched it and I was like, whoa, yeah, that is some it's really cool. It's really cool.
It's like a battle
I'm a fan.
royale style thing, right? I guess I'll just
No,
watch it.
it's no,
I'll just
it
watch
no.
it.
Remember that horrible movie you made me watch called The Platform?
Yeah.
The French like.
I made you watch it. You told me to watch it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh,
100%. I wanted to watch it, hadn't yet, and then you're like, you gotta watch it. It's crazy.
yeah, that was dark. That was
It was
really dark.
very dark.
This is kind of like that. It's about like never a borrower nor a lender be kind of a situation.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
I'm intrigued.
Yep. It's really good.
I gotta
Very,
watch
very
it.
good. Yeah.
I have been watching something a lot lighter. I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld reruns because Seinfeld just it's on Netflix now. So I will literally just have that in the background. And here's something kind of sad. I realized I have a ton of Seinfeld memorized line for line. I will literally find myself mouthing the punchline. So,
Oh yeah.
Adam, I need help because I've seen some of those episodes far too much.
Are there any episodes that are not authorized on Netflix, or is
No,
it full
everything.
Is it full catalog?
Full catalog, no commercials. You just boom, boom, boom. You just knock them out. It's great.
So you got Shrinkage, you got Spongeworthy, and you got Soup Nazi on there. All of them.
Yeah, everything. I think everything's on
Wow.
there.
Wow.
All 100, I think 180 episodes are on there. So
Nice. Awesome.
mm-hmm.
Well, I think I'm probably same camp as you, or I have some of them memorized as well. I've seen them so many times. So that was like The Office. Like nowadays, I'd watch The Office like every other night. But yeah.
Yeah, good call. That is like the Office of the 90s and early 2000s. Yep. 100%. All right. Well, this conversation's gone everywhere.
We made fun of governors. We talked a little trash about new shows online, and we talked a little bit about Questflex. So yeah. I think a successful day. I don't know about you. It's a successful day.
It was a great world tour of ideas. I loved it.
We made up words. We learned about evelocity. Hashtag evelocity.
Here's an idea. Gonna pitch this. Gonna throw this out there. Every week we should invent a new word and just see if it catches on. Why not? Every year we're throwing out 50 plus new words, just seeing if it just kind of catches on.
If any of them catch on.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
cool.
I'm not sure what our word of the week is, but that'll be our thing starting out next week. We'll start a new word.
Yeah, your challenge. Yeah. Okay, we'll alternate. You 1 week, me another week. So every month we're only responsible for 2 new words created.
Deal.
Done.
Deal.
You want to start next week?
We'll start next week. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, we'll steal Avant's word with evelocity this week.
Cool.
So, yeah.
It makes sense. They inspired this new activity. So, great. New word of the week, and see if it catches on. Let's make it trend. Cool. Adam, thanks for jumping on, hanging out. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Good stuff, Paul. Hope everyone has a great week. We'll catch up next week.
Yeah. See you then. Have a good week. That was good.
Cool. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Awesome.